time with my ex. I ain't worried about nothing. Plus, I found someone else, and we having better discussions. I know they say I moved on too fast, but this one gon' last. Cause her name is Erin, and I'm so good with that. She taught me love, she taught me patience. She handles pain, and that's amazing. I've loved and I've lost, but that's not what I see. Cause look what I found, ain't no need for searching.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of These Two Girls. Hey, Candy.
Hey, Cheyenne.
We're back, we're
Hey.
back, we're back.
Yes, we are back
Last
from,
episode of the year.
oh my goodness. Yes, 2018 is coming to a close. That is so freaking exciting.
Yeah,
I'm
I
ready.
mean, I guess. Yeah, sure.
No?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like so much has happened this year.
Oh,
I am ready for it to be over, but then that's just like symbolically, it's just gonna be another day and a whole nother year. Who's to say that anything's gonna be different?
I mean, you have to make it different though. Like, you have to, it's you.
I mean, it's not like I wasn't trying for good things to happen this year. It's not like I'm gonna be be like, oh, you know what, this year, the 2018, I really wasn't trying to make
Oh
things
my
different, and
gosh.
now I'm gonna try to make things different. Yeah, I don't know.
So,
Was that too pessimistic? I'm sorry. Let me change my mood. Yeah. So 2019. Woo.
on another note, Shine, I can't with you right now. Christmas. You were here for Christmas. You were in Fort Lauderdale, right? How was that?
I was there. It was good to be home.
You didn't
And
even invite me. You didn't even invite me over.
uh, what? Yo, you know what? I didn't even realize that because it has
Mm-hmm.
become a norm for you to be there. You should have just showed up like
I
the rest of
I
the family.
I felt that I needed to do this, and I needed to
No,
do it
see, no.
like this. I'm joking.
I
Yeah, I know.
I feel like usually you text and ask what time. I don't know. How do we usually do that? I don't know. I just like it felt like
You normally send a text saying, "Oh, by the way, here." That's exactly how you did. So, by the way, just saying, you know, you could come by, or Christmas at my house at, or
yeah. That was not
um.
intentional. I really in my head
I
I just was like you would have
I
been
get. I'm
there.
just pulling
I think
pulling
one
your
of my
string.
aunts even asked where you were and I was like, "Oh yeah. Where is Candy?"
I know. I was expecting somebody to have my back. Like, whoa,
But still,
where's Candy?
you know what happened though? Usually when you don't have any plans, but it seems like you had sufficient plans
I
from your
mean,
social media.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
okay, all right. So I'm guessing you had a great Christmas then. Okay, good.
No, we
That's
did have
good.
a good Christmas. It was, in terms of being together with family and everything. I was just talking to some friends today, and we were talking about how important that has gotten to us in
Mm.
our older age. But
Oh gosh.
yeah, because I felt like, I mean, the only time I really went out on a social outing was when we went to the karaoke place. And other than that, I was mostly at home sitting on the couch with my parents, and you know,
Right.
and I was
Oh, that
quite content.
karaoke. That was fun. Oh
Yeah,
my
that was fun.
goodness.
You,
Yes, guys, I have new karaoke songs. Let me tell you, my go-to karaoke song used to be Hot in Here by Nelly.
mm-hmm.
That was the only song I used to sing, and probably like, I don't know, it was always Hot in Here. But after that karaoke night the other day, I have a whole new list of songs that I want to try out now. Like, For real, for real. So I'm good. I'm ready to go karaoke. Where we going karaoke? Who wants to go karaoke? Let's do this. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm so ready.
You should
Yeah.
post the clip so that our followers can see. I feel like we definitely, we're not social media. You should have been more into. We should have went live from the social media, from the IG page for
I didn't
these two
think about
girls.
that.
Yeah, and I didn't think about it either until afterwards. I'm like, this was a great opportunity, but we missed it. So next time.
I'll definitely post the clip of us saying yes, guys. Shanna and I did a duet together. And I think we did a really good job
I
too.
think we did.
I think we had a really good crowd too.
Yes.
We did. The
Oh
crowd
man.
helps. But yeah.
Well, so you were with your family for Christmas, correct?
I was in the beginning half. We spent Christmas at in the morning. We did Christmas breakfast at my with my aunt. She is at a nursing home. She had a stroke recently,
Okay.
and so she's there. And so we all went over there and hung out with her and her nurses and everything, and it was really good. Even that, like you said, as we get older, you realize the importance of certain things, and even being there with her, and then you just see everybody in a different light. Like you see everybody getting older,
Mhm.
you see the younger kids that are now teens, and they're like trying to hurry up and leave and go somewhere else. And you just see all of that, and you're just like, wow, time is really flying.
Yeah.
And just seeing her there in a wheelchair, she didn't even remember me.
Oh
Okay,
no.
she didn't. And that was interesting to know that this is what's happening now. you know
Mhm.
we're at that age where these are some of the things that, yeah, it's happening now
Oh
to
no,
our
yeah,
to
that's
our
that's scary. I don't even. We're not even gonna
that's
get into that right now.
okay, yeah,
But that was very nice. A very sweet thing that you guys did to go there, because a lot of
yeah.
times these family members that are in these homes, they get forgotten on the holidays. So that was
Oh
really
my gosh,
nice.
there were so many of them there. I felt so bad for the other patients that were there. And and we actually, so my aunt, she has some friends there,
Mhm.
just roommates and so forth, and people that she has breakfast and dinner and so forth with, and they joined us.
Mhm.
We rolled their wheelchair into the dining hall with us, and we all sang songs together and shared some of our food with them, and so they enjoyed it also.
That's
I
good.
liked that part about it, that we got some of the other patients that were there didn't have any family, that we got them involved into what was going on. you
Mhm.
know and even one of the ladies, she was there and she just talking about, oh yeah, telling us about her kids and all her grandkids, and I'm just like, where are they?
Mhm.
It's Christmas Day and you're here all alone and nobody came to see her.
Wow.
So that's scary. But yeah,
Yeah.
we won't get into that emotional place right now.
Is your family a big gift giving family? Like y'all trees like packed to the brim
No,
and.
no, no, we're not. Honestly, we are not. I think this Christmas, well, I think that's every Christmas. Honestly, I'm the only one that gives gifts. Like, if they get gifts, it's from me to them. Like, I don't think I got anything from my family members this Christmas.
Mm.
But I love the giving part. I love giving gifts, and the thing is, when I do the gifts, it's like something that I've heard them mention during the year, or something that I know they like, or
Okay.
so it may not be something big and expensive, but it's something that I know that um they wanted in
Mm.
some kind of way. So, is your family big on gifts?
Well, I remember back in the day we used to be, and this was when I was, of course, like a child,
Right.
and we used to have this enormous gifts under the tree, like you couldn't even get up to the tree how many things were there, but things have changed over the many
Right.
years,
Right.
and like my
Right.
immediate family is not, we're not really big on gifts. Like my dad will try to get something for my mom that he's heard her say she needed or something.
Right,
And
right.
she'll do the same, and they'll both be all secretive and texting us, like, oh, your father said that his wallet tore. He need a wallet,
Okay.
My,
Yeah.
same thing. I think the both of them got each other almost the same thing because she needed a new phone case with her wallet, and he needed a new wallet, and they both, and I was the one that bought them, obviously, like, went to get it, and I was like, okay, that's funny. But my extended family who we have dinner with, we do a Secret Santa for the
Mhm.
last couple years, and that kind of it was meant to kind of eliminate the whole who didn't buy a gift for who, and I don't know, not that we were
Mhm.
like petty, but just to kind of eliminate that kind of you know issue. So we picked like one name, and you could buy, you buy for that one person, but people still give to other people too, just out of whatever you think they need or whatever. But I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know how starting to change the way I feel about this gift giving thing at
Mhm.
Christmas. Like, I don't think,
Right.
I'm not sure if when I have kids, I'm going to celebrate Christmas the same. And
Did
hopefully,
we have this conversation over here? Because I swear this is a conversation that's been going around.
I
Like
don't know.
that's
I don't remember
yeah.
us having the conversation, but I really don't
Okay.
think. Well, maybe we did a little bit based on the the Christmas program thing. But anyway, I really don't think that I'm gonna do that with my kids. Not that they won't get anything. I'm hoping that I am in the position in life where they won't need anything, and
Right.
so I can, so it doesn't have to be a whole Christmas thing where they get toys and whatever, and then that I can teach
Right.
them about being charitable and doing about people who don't even have food to put on the table on Christmas Day. Like, I
I
definitely
agree.
love the idea of gathering as a family for Christmas. I
Oh
love
yes,
that.
definitely,
But the whole
definitely.
gift giving thing, I'm not so sure that I want that to be a central idea. Like, if you
Right,
something
right.
cute, whatever, then yeah. I think stocking stuffers are cute,
Oh, those I think
you
that's
know.
dope too. Yeah, I
But I
like
don't
that.
know if I want to do a full blown, situation. But yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
I'm on the same page with
Mhm.
you on that. I've seen Christmas from a different lens now, and I've just seen how I think we overdo it with the gift giving thing. I
Yeah.
honestly do. And then just the reaction I've seen with kids at times, it breaks my heart to see, like, the parents spend all their money to make this happen, and then sometimes some of them are ungrateful, sometimes it's not exactly what they wanted, and then sometimes by January they're done playing with it.
Exactly.
And I think even going to the nursing home on Christmas Day further further made me think that this is definitely what I'd want to be doing with my kids.
Mm.
You know, on a day like this where you have people here all by themselves, this is what I'd want us to do.
It's funny that
Come
you
out
said
here.
that because
Hmm.
so I was the one in charge of the Secret Santa, so I made an announcement to the family saying, look,
Hmm.
we can, if you guys want, we can do Secret Santa again next year. But what I told the family was, like, I think we should find some charitable thing to do as a family next year,
Hmm.
even if
Hmm.
it's not on Christmas Day, but some days leading up to Christmas or whatever. I was like, I think that should be
I'm with
more
it.
important.
I'm
So
with
it's
it.
funny that you say that because I'll keep that on my list of potential things to do, to go to a
Boom.
nursing home or, some other kind of home that we can just go
Yeah,
and be, even if you're not bringing gifts, just to go play games and keep somebody
exactly.
company, you know?
Yeah. Play some
Yeah.
card
Mhm.
games, do something. Yeah, I am with it. That's definitely the direction.
Mhm.
And another thing that I would so love to do is even the gift of experiences. Say if, like you have a big family. My family, most of them are in Jamaica and in Canada now. But even say that we get together and say, okay, guys, we've never been to let's do Christmas in New York. Let's, as a family, let's
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
all gather together and go to New York. Okay, let's do something different. Let's get an Airbnb in
Mhm.
Orlando and do Christmas in Orlando, or
Yeah, yeah.
Christmas in a different, just experiences. So we wouldn't be spending our money on gifts. Let's save and do
That's
Christmas
a good idea.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
I would, in my perfect world, I would love if that's what we're doing. But hey, I love it though. See, that's the millennials coming up, changing the game. That's what we do, man. That's what we do.
Well,
Love
yes.
it.
So, yes, the holidays were great. I hope you guys had a good
Yes, it
holiday
was great.
yourself.
Yes, it
Um,
was. It was. I enjoyed myself.
so, like we said, 2019 is approaching.
It is.
Lots of things happened this year.
Oh, yes,
And
yes.
hopefully, we learned some lessons from the things that happened this year. So we
Ding,
can,
ding, ding.
well, let's for this episode, let's do a rundown of some things we remembered that made an impact on
From
us, and or just really silly things that happened, and
in
how,
2018.
what happened, how did it change your mindset or not, or you know
All right, let's get into it.
all
All
right,
right, which one you want to start off with, Shy?
you pick, go ahead.
All right, let's start with the royal wedding.
Yeah.
Yes, the royal wedding, beautiful, beautiful. I did you stay up and watch it?
I did not stay up and watch
I
it.
didn't.
I think it was later in the day. I was at the library studying, and it was one of those days where I wasn't really studying. So I pulled up
Mhm.
the video, like the live feed that was recorded, and just kind of skipped through
Okay.
it because that was
Right.
entirely too long.
My mom
And
stayed up for that,
yeah,
man.
of
She
course.
did. Did your parents?
I don't think so. My dad maybe
Okay.
would have gotten up, but I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the for me, I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest. Um, I did enjoy the some of the musical entertainment they had, um, but the one thing I remember from the year that bothered me, that it was just how awkward it was that her mother was just by herself,
Aw.
and I was just like, where is the rest of her family? Or it
Mm,
just seemed very weird. The whole thing was just, so that's all I remember from that.
okay. Yeah, I don't know if I had too much. I remember one selection from the choir. I think I don't remember if there were a lot of selections. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched the clips that you get from the news and
Mhm.
the entertainment channel and Instagram. Instagram,
Mhm.
the 1 minute video.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was a really long wedding. I guess because they have all the official things they have to do,
Right.
because it is royalty. Yeah, I just know my wedding not gonna be that boring. But anyways, but yeah, her mom, I thought her mom was really beautiful. Like, she's
Yes.
really
Yes.
cute, and I still think Megan's dress was boring, but
Oh yeah, it
she's
was.
also really
Agreed.
beautiful. But what did we learn from that? Anything to take away from this wedding?
I think the one thing we remember is that we need new friends who can introduce
We
us
need new
to
friends.
royal
God,
blind
our friends
dates.
are not hooking us up with anybody.
I need a
Cheyenne, I
royal
don't know
blind
what's.
date this in 2019. I need a royal blind date. Okay.
Listen, y'all. He don't have to be royal, okay? Just hook me up with
Somebody
somebody.
that knows Drake needs to hit me up on a blind date with
Oh my
Drake.
God.
And don't
Okay,
tell me
so
it's
it's
Drake, and
clearly
then I
for
go,
Cheyenne, y'all. For
and then it's like,
Cheyenne,
oh my God, it's Drake. Oh my God,
for Cheyenne, he has to be a royal or a Drake. Okay, y'all remember that if you
I don't
need.
really
For
need the
me,
royal either, but I'm just saying.
if you know a good dude that's single, like, put me on, okay? Come on, friends. Come on, people. Come on, followers. Come on. Anyways, and dreams. Do we say dreams come true? Do we say that?
I mean,
Like,
I don't know if she dreamt of being a princess or
yeah.
duchess. I don't know.
Did you ever dream of being a princess? Was that one
No,
of your things growing up?
no.
Okay, that
Mm-mm,
wasn't my thing.
mm-mm.
Yeah. Dream of being a
I
princess.
I
No.
dreamt of being a witch.
No, you didn't.
But when I
Lies.
turned 16, I was legit waiting to wake up with my magical powers, but it didn't happen.
That is hilarious.
And
Seriously.
I'm so serious.
Oh my gosh. I know I wanted to be a mermaid, not a witch, not a
Nah,
princess, but I
nah.
did want to be a
I
mermaid.
was
I
gonna be a
thought
good
mermaids were
witch
so
like
cool.
Sabrina, you know?
Oh, you wanted to be a good witch. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta be I thought you meant an evil witch.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
Like Ursula or something,
No,
or
like
like
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which there's a new series on Netflix, but it is not as PG, or not PG. It is not as like cutesy as the series we watched as children. It
hmm
is very dark. But
kind of
anyway,
like what's that other show too that's just as dark? The Archie,
Riverdale. Yes, they're kind of
Riverdale
connected actually, I've heard.
to Sabrina.
Yeah, I think it's gonna connect some kind of way. Like they're like neighboring towns or like something like that. Yeah. But
Anyway,
Riverdale is annoying. I
so
can't even get into that. Oh, it's so
I
annoying.
haven't even started, but I haven't started.
Okay, next
So the
topic.
royal wedding. Okay, so that was one of the highlights for 2018.
Okay,
Your turn.
let's talk. Nicki Minaj and Cardi were feuding all year, as
Oh
if we
yeah.
didn't
Oh
know they
my
were
good.
feuding from before.
Are they over now? Is it
I
done?
don't think they're done. I don't think they'll ever be done. But it's one. I lost a lot of respect for Nicki, but just because of how petty she was,
Mhm.
and two, you know, the basic lesson from it, I guess, to me, was even though women are just gonna be petty, no matter what. When there's room for everyone.
And there's room for everyone, right? Right. Y'all still making more money than us.
Yeah,
Relax,
that's right.
get those coins and chill. But yep, that's cool. I'll roll with you on that one. Nicki Minaj feud, that was another thing for
How
2018.
about you do the lighter topics, and then we'll get into the more serious topics. So go to something a little more
Okay.
lighter.
Let's see. Oh, Drake. Drake was popping this year,
I mean,
wasn't he?
duh, obviously.
Okay, Cheyenne. We know that's your boo. Okay,
The
yeah, yeah, but for
album.
real though, Drake looked really good this year,
I
y'all.
mean, did
Like,
you see him? I mean, that little V cut on the. Okay, I'm done.
no,
And I don't know why nobody told me he was gonna go to Jamaica the other day, because that's where I would have been instead of Fort Lauderdale at the Unruly Fest
oh,
in
with
St.
your
Mary.
family, you wouldn't be with your family, weren't you the one just talking about
Listen,
the importance of family?
sometimes sacrifices have to be made.
Sacrifices. Okay. Yes, guys, Drake was he was on top this year. I definitely enjoyed two songs that was on the number one charts this year. Nice for What
Mm-hmm.
was the anthem,
Mm-hmm.
and then In My Feelings, Kiki, do you love me? I
Okay.
yes, I don't listen. Drake was killing it this year. I mean, he
Yes,
popped out
yes.
some other songs, but those two were doing really, really, really well on the
Yes,
charts.
yes,
So
yes.
shout out to Drake on that.
Mm-hmm.
You're next.
Okay. Remember we had this conversation in one of our podcasts about the Judge Kavanaugh, who is now officially on the Supreme Court, and
Mm,
Dr. Ford, and how what we really want to focus on is how she came forward and
mm-hmm.
bravely spoke up about what
Power
happened
to
to her
her.
in
Yes.
front of all these people who were ready to shoot her down and already had been shooting her down, and in front of this man who has just no respect for any kind of,
Mm-hmm.
it just. And so I was like, more power to her, definitely, for speaking up and giving other women who have gone through similar
Right,
things.
right.
It was definitely an addition to the Me Too movement. Definitely something to, like, empowers more women to come forward and speak up about these horrible things that have happened to them. So,
And
yeah.
even with that, speaking up, with crimes against women, even
Mhm.
Cosby got, jail time for all the things that he did,
Right.
so,
And I will say, did we talk about
hmm
this? I don't
I think we
recall,
did.
but yes, I mean, as I probably have expressed, I honestly don't think that jail time for Cosby. That's my personal opinion.
Oh, yes,
I
we did.
don't.
We spoke on
Yeah,
a special victims unit.
right. I
Yes.
don't think that jail time was necessary in this case. Especially with his age. Like the point of jail is for reform, so it just didn't make sense. But anyway, to tell a quick story. So, I was I met this guy online, and so
Oh gosh.
we were having a. He wanted to FaceTime. I hadn't met him in person. I
Mm.
still hadn't met him in person, so that just tells you how this went. This is when I was in Chicago. He wanted to FaceTime. I thought it was weird, but anyway, I was like, fine, FaceTime. So somehow, worst first conversation topic, he brings up the Cosby thing, but not in a way, because I think he asked me like, what do I watch, and I mentioned Blackish, and my description, he had never heard of it, and my description of it was like, oh, it's like a modern day Cosby show. And so he went on to say, oh, there will never be anything like the Cosby show, like that was the best and whatever. And I was like, oh, I mean, okay, yeah, sure, whatever you want to say. And somehow we got into the topic of what had just happened to Cosby about a month or two before. And he started basically defending the actions and just in general of men who feel like women are leading them on. And girl, he talked about how he was saying about how the women in the Cosby situation, some of them were showing up to his hotel room in lingerie and whatever. So clearly, they knew what they wanted to do. And I said to him, well, okay, I don't know that to be a fact, right? I never really followed the details of the story. So I said, okay, fine. Yeah. So they show up to his hotel room in lingerie with the intentions of having sex. But if you didn't give me a chance to even, consciously make a decision because you roofie me and you drug me, like, that's not okay. That's still not okay. Or, and I was like, and even if you didn't drug me and now we're about to have sex and I changed my mind, I have that right. And he was like, disagreeing. Girl.
So you can't change your mind, is what he's saying?
Yeah, he was totally against the whole thing and saying how, and we went into a whole thing about how women dress. And I was just entertaining the conversation because I like to argue sometimes. So at the end of that conversation, I was like, and then the next day he tried to call me again. And I was like, he really thinks we about to have another conversation after that one? Like, he thought
Yeah.
that went well enough. And I was just like, the mindset of some men out there are definitely flawed, but we as
Yeah.
women just have to keep on, doing what we're doing and speaking up to, kind of get these ideas out of there. But yeah, I
Okay.
thought that story was funny, but then it didn't really turn out to be funny because you didn't laugh. So, okay.
No, no, that's a guy that needs to not be on online dating.
Well,
Yeah. Okay. So yes, Bill and coming on Dr. Ford.
mm-hmm.
Um. Okay. What else was going on for 2018?
Tell me about
Um.
this Facebook leak you're talking about. I honestly was not very familiar with that.
You can remember it? I remember. Oh boy, Facebook guy. He was in court too, and no.
Yeah, I never really followed up the story, so I'm not very
Well, I
informed on
mean,
it.
all I know is that the Cambridge Analytica scandal. That's what they called it. I guess more than 50 million people, their Facebook information was compromised, leaked, and people were very upset about it. And after just watching the whole thing and even seeing him in court, I was just like, listen, guys, be careful
Mm-hmm.
with the information you put out there because there is a chance that it can be leaked. I even remember even sometime after that, like you would see Facebook ads saying, or we want to protect you and your information, like it's them cleaning up,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
we're making changes. I don't to our Facebook policy. I don't, and then you saw all these things come up and you had to agree to it, and um, it was just an interesting time afterwards. Like you could see where they were trying to clean up their act. Because from what I heard, a lot of people left Facebook after that
Oh,
happened.
really?
But I think everybody went right back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. But that was that. I just was more concerned about my information after that, like all those little games. But funny thing is, a lot of us went right back. Like I still found myself playing them. So like a lot of those little games that you play where it says, "Where will I be in 2018? Who will I marry in
Oh,
2019?" Those little things that you'll see people repost and do. Those are some of the things that you need to be careful of when
I
participating.
just did one today, man. And I never do
Yeah,
them.
right. I stopped doing them after that. Actually, even sometime after the whole Russia thing, because they were even saying too
Mm-hmm.
that some of those programs was part of the whole Russia thing.
Yeah, that
When
they targeted black people specifically.
right,
Yeah, during the
so
election.
I had stopped after that, and then I guess I started doing it again. So after Facebook was like, okay, we're changing up certain things, we're doing that. I was like, okay, so maybe it's a little bit safe now. I can play these little corny games again because I'm growing and I'm in my 30s while I'm sitting here needing these needing this to predict my future. But I hey, was participating. I'm
Well,
like, maybe God is gonna talk to me through one of these games. But yeah, so that's what happened
well, you
with
know what I
that.
have learned with all of these social media things? I just accept the fact that Big Brother is watching and listening, and there's really nothing you can do about it. I don't care if you cover the camera on your laptop,
Oh
or you plug
gosh.
out Siri, you plug out Alexa, you don't activate Siri. There has to be a way inside the phones that they're listening, because I should not be just having a conversation with you in person about shoes, a particular type of shoes, and then go
Right.
onto my Facebook and see commercials for the shoes. I can understand if I
Right.
typed it in, they already told us that they're encrypting things and whatever. Sure.
And
But if
yeah.
I speak to you about this, it shouldn't come up. And that just tells me that we just cannot get away from it no matter what. There's just too much technology in our lives. And you just have to be careful and mindful of what you're doing, because you're just not going to get away from it.
Oh boy.
That's just how I feel about
Creepy.
it.
Creepy. Remember iRobot? You watch iRobot, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
An
remember
eagle
that.
eye. Okay. All right. All right.
Next topic.
Winding down.
Well, what
Oh,
was the next one? A little less exciting, but definitely an important event. The Stoneman Douglas high school shooting early this
yeah,
year,
that
back
was
in
earlier
February.
this year. Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you knew anyone who went to Stoneman Douglas at that moment. I don't know.
No, no,
Okay. I
I,
had a
I
friend
didn't.
whose brother was there at that time, and but was okay. And you know, they recently started to bring out some more information about the shooter, like some kind of text messaging between him and some girl, where
Oh
he
wow.
was I just saw it on the news last week while I was home, where he, I guess he had more feelings for this girl than she did. And I don't think she was being mean to him or anything like that, but I think she was just very clear that a romantic relationship was not going to happen between them. And like maybe about 5 minutes before he walked into the school, he texted her like, "Oh, I love you, something something."
Wow.
So now it's like Was that a trigger for him? Was that part of it? I don't know. But
What did ain't girls out here breaking hearts, huh?
I
Not that that's
mean,
an excuse, but
but
yeah.
it just, that's just another thing where it's like the gun reform needs to happen to deal with, to
Mm,
weed out people with mental health issues that cause them to be unstable and violent. And,
yeah.
I don't understand what's wrong with the white people in this country, but they are so attached to their guns, and
They are, yes, it's a thing for them. I
no
don't
one's trying to
understand.
take your gun, and we're just trying to say it should not be that easy. Like, I know someone who went and bought a gun today, like
Oh
literally.
wow.
So, what I'm saying? It should not be that easy, especially in Florida. You do not need a license to buy a gun. You can buy it, and you don't need to register it, and you can just have it in your house, which is fine. Okay, but like, just, we should at least not be able to just walk into Walmart and buy a gun today without
Mhm.
anybody knowing what your mental status is, what your intentions are. Are you stable? Do you have a criminal record? So, but I don't know. Nothing seems to have changed in the 10, 11 months, but hopefully in the future something will happen.
Yeah, I hope so too. But yeah, the Stoneman Douglas, that one was definitely was a heartbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely did like to see the kids that came out, the teens that came out after all of this, and they were speaking up and they were
Mm-hmm.
talking to Congress and they were on the mic and they were just speaking their truths.
Mm-hmm.
I really love to see young people in that spotlight, and they did their thing. So, and we're about to hit February again, so we'll be, it'll be 1 year.
Yeah.
I know that'll be a very emotional day, but yes, Stoneman Douglas, them, my heart goes out to them and the families. So
Yeah.
that's that one. Um, what else for 2018? Oh, I have one.
Mm-hmm.
Buju.
Yes, free Bojo and
Buju
free.
free. No, 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 that wasn't the right one. Boop, 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 boop. That. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh gosh,
Listen,
don't
I
touch
don't know
me
about
so.
you. If honestly, it didn't really mean like any significant thing to my life, but the next day,
Oh, be
no,
careful.
no, no, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying, but the next
Okay.
day, I did listen to a lot of Buju on iTunes.
Okay, okay,
I was
okay.
like, you know what? In solidarity, I think it's the
Yes,
mood, and I
yes.
definitely love a lot of Buju songs. So that was definitely a whole mood that day. But did you see,
Yeah.
like, so when he got out? First of all, he was in there for like what, 9, 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and for drug
Listen,
issues.
any man that can get out of jail and not be there anymore, and for something, and it's not for killing or anything,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't really think, but for drugs, and he's back out again and he's free, like that's a big deal. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Jail ain't jail ain't easy. I mean, I
yeah.
don't know. I've never been to jail, but
Mm-hmm. So
but he's
yeah,
a free man.
when he got to
Yeah,
Jamaica, there was a crowd of people waiting in the
right.
airport, outside the airport. I mean,
This should be a holiday,
definitely. Oop,
son.
hold
This should
on.
be a holiday.
Yeah, I think that was my alarm. It might have went off.
Bujumanton holiday free,
Yeah, yeah.
free whatever, I don't know, something, but yeah, I saw the crowd, everybody, I saw it, it was exciting. You know what's cool though, like he is leaving jail with money, man. Like
Oh,
he's not a broke man.
no, no, no. By
He has
far.
everything set up for him, man. That is cool. You know how many people leave jail and have to
Especially
start
when
all
you leave
over?
jail and get deported. It's like, what do you
Right,
go home to?
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, definitely.
Would you all ready for one tour and
Listen,
everything?
I just saw somebody just sent me. So when I was back in St. Kitts, they have a music festival every year, and he's headlining the music festival next year.
What?
And
That's
I'm
gonna be
like,
so
do I
big.
need to go back to St. Kitts in the summer?
Oh, that is I wonder when he's making his way to the United States.
I don't think he can come back here right
All right,
now.
duh. He got
Yeah.
deported. Oh, so we're all going there. We're
We
all
all
going
gotta
to
go to see
St. Kitts and
Bridget.
Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. Why he's coming to the United States? Maybe yeah, it's crazy.
Nah, yeah.
Um, how long does he anyways? But yeah, that's pretty cool though. I think that'd be really dope, you
I
know?
know. So that means new music. Um,
New music, right? New music. Mm,
I don't know if that's how it goes, but yeah.
okay.
There was one
No,
thing.
it's no music.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
I heard that. I heard or read that he wasn't necessarily planning to do much in Jamaica because he said that Jamaica didn't really support him when he was in jail. And by support him, I don't really know what he means. But,
Hmm.
but I guess like Jamaica kind of like, because it was drug charges in the US, they're trying to be diplomatic about the whole thing and stay out of the conversation or, not,
Hmm.
because maybe I think he could have gotten out or at least deported earlier if there were some things done, but apparently they didn't really. He said like a lot more other Caribbean islands supported him than his own country, which is an
Hmm.
interesting thought, but I don't know how true that is. But yeah,
I didn't hear that one.
I want to see when I guess we'll see when
No,
he
but
releases.
anyway, yes, he's a free man, so big ups to him.
Yeah. So what's
Um,
next? Are we back down to ourselves? Yeah.
yeah, I think
Hmm.
so. I don't think
What
anything else
happened to
really.
you this year?
Um, this year, man, 2018 was to me was a good year, even filled with the bad
Mm-hmm.
and the sad. But it was an eye-opening year. I think I learned some things about myself,
Mm-hmm.
about people. I think I stuck to my theme for this year. So I give myself themes every year,
Oh.
and this year was brave again.
Mm.
And I feel like I stuck to it a lot this year, and in just the way I moved with certain things I had to say, opinions that I stuck to, um, just a lot of things that I wanted to do. I feel that I followed through on. This year brought a lot of crying. I think I cried a lot this year. Um, I think I did,
About what?
and just I realized a lot of, and I think it came with the therapy in regards to knowing my trigger. So like I said, even the Stoneman Douglas thing was a big trigger for me because I just thought of all the kids that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of my sister, just kids just trying to go to school, just even you just going to the supermarket, going to Dunkin' Donuts, just like it was just a big deal for me. Like this is happening way too often, and it's scary,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then my uncle passed away shortly after that,
Mm-hmm.
and was that was really emotional for me. Um, and that was pretty much it. And just other things like I was so emotional about people and stuff. It was stupid stuff. I will say some of it was a bit stupid, but it was refreshing. Like the tears, refreshing. And you just get back and bounce back and like, okay, I cried. Boom, we
Mm-hmm.
ready. So that was 2018 lessons. Oh, another thing, shy.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who? Guess what? So, guess who wants to have kids now? Boom, 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 boom,
Yes.
boom,
Yes, guys.
boom.
Candy wants to have
I
kids
do.
now.
I want kids now.
I really remember having this argument with you. I think it was me and Tony and you, like, at my house years ago. And you were like so adamant about all the possible things that could go wrong with having kids and the stress. And we were just looking at you like, okay then. And now, what
I
changed?
do. What changed? What changed? So, well, one of the things that I will say, changed is just that, I guess with me doing Lights on Girls and working with young people a bit more now, even with my job, I feel like I want to just raise my own tribe. You feel me? Like,
A tribe. Oh.
I
So we
want
moved
to put,
from
I
none to
want,
tribe. Okay.
I'm just using tribe, okay? I have to have the one first to know if I need to have a
Right, right,
tribe, but
right.
you get what I'm saying. I want to put my stamp in the world.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like it's needed because even the raising of the kids, my whole concept is completely different now.
Mhm.
I not saying that my parents raised me wrong, but um I don't know. I just would love
Well,
to do
times
things
have changed as
differently.
well
Times have
too.
changed.
So yeah, you're
Like
gonna
I
have
was
to
even
raise them
saying,
differently than how you were raised.
right, exactly.
Mhm.
I was even saying to someone the other day that like my kid is probably gonna be that kid in church that all the adults hate. Like straight up. Like my kid is not gonna take y'all bull crap. Honestly, like you're not just gonna talk to my kid anyway. Like they're not gonna accept that. They're gonna ask questions. Why? Why? Did you tell me good morning? Why do I have to say good morning first? You know, like that's, anyways, I'm not raising my child to be disrespectful, but there are certain things that's just gonna just be done differently.
Right.
You're gonna question things. And then I think even just seeing, a couple of my friends just try to, get pregnant and go through miscarriages and just to struggle
Mhm.
this year, just triggered something in me, that knowing that there is a possibility that when I am ready to have children,
Mhm.
it may not happen as easy as I'd want it to, or it may not happen at all. And I think even watching like Gabrielle Union story, and that just triggered something in me, like it may not happen. So it makes me want it even more because I'm not sure. So, and I want kids now. My sister's getting older, you know. She's about to leave me. What I'm gonna have.
Wow.
I'm joking, but yeah, I do want children now. I need a Candy Junior, you
Okay.
know, because I'm that dope, and I need another dope one. So
Okay.
it's cool. I can see us riding
What if
out,
your kid's
you know.
personality is like real boring?
Listen, I listen. I
Because
don't
you
know.
can't do anything about the personality. You know what I mean?
You're
Like,
right. You're right. I'm just gonna hope that my husband is not boring. So hopefully
mhm.
my child will take after both of us because we're both not boring.
Okay.
So we will see. That I do think about that, but hey, we'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see. But yeah, but I still want kids. So, I was online looking at adoption sites the other day too.
I support that though. I definitely support that. Definitely.
Yeah, I was checking out adoption sites the other day. Do you know adopting a child is expensive?
Yes, very. I don't understand
Okay,
why, but
I
yeah.
don't understand why. It's okay. Anyways, another topic. Okay, so your turn.
Me. Oh, well. I don't know. I feel like I went through it this year, to be honest,
Mhm.
emotionally, mentally. But I did some moving around. In January, I left Fort Lauderdale, went to Augusta,
Mhm.
I was there in Augusta for a few months. I came back home for about a month. Then I was back in Augusta. Then I went to Chicago for 3 months. And now I'm in Atlanta. And I'll be
Mm.
here for another 3 months. And along the way this year, and I definitely do believe that certain things happen for a reason, because when I had to come home in May, June, I was really upset about it. But while I was home, basically, that's when we figured out that my mom had breast cancer.
Mm.
And really, it was like me being home, Shanique being home, and Shanique, playing around with my mom and realizing that there was something there. And they literally walk into my room, and I was there to do a breast exam and be like, this doesn't feel too right, And
Mhm.
then from there, I was really glad that I was able to be there with my mother, to go with her to these appointments, through the up to the diagnostic part of it, like realizing that this is what it was. And then, a few more appointments after that before I had to leave. And had the opportunity to be able to come back down to be there for her for the surgery and things like that. Because I don't think if I was away in Augusta, I would have been able to handle the news as well as I did being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I wasn't supposed to be there during that time. So, I think things happen for a reason. And she's great right now. She got new young girl boobs, and she's not afraid
Mhm.
to,
I felt them, y'all.
yeah, she's not afraid to show them off. I mean, she's still healing, because she just recently had the reconstruction of the other breast to match up. So now she got perky boobs again, like she's 16 or something. But so yeah, so that was one, definitely a big major thing. That was definitely an emotional strain, the uncertainty of it. But as well as, my normal stress of school is so stressful.
Mhm.
I mean, I just, tired, and emotionally tired and physically tired, and having to continue to do this, and the pressure of it all. It was just a very long year. But and then I also had a lot of something that we still haven't talked about. I had a lot of mind changing views right now of, like,
Mhm.
of
Right.
certain things. And it definitely, I don't know, it's definitely changed my outlook on a lot of things in life. And I'm having to figure out what that means for me
Wow.
going forward.
Right.
And
Right.
but at the same time, I'm not I'm not pessimistic, really. I know I sound kind of a I sound a little weird, but I'm not. I'm just kind of, I've gotten to the point, especially in these last 3 months, of kind of letting things happen and not letting myself uh, react to things that I don't have any control over. So
Mm.
that's something that I always knew, but I've had to learn again,
Right.
basically,
Right.
and kind of put it into action. So, but
Okay.
I mean, there were still some good things for the year. I think, I don't know, I can't think of any off the bat, but
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure there were lots of good things for the year. I'm still alive, and I'm
Yeah.
still in
2019,
able to
2018
do,
wasn't all bad.
yeah.
Right. Right.
So,
So yeah, we're ready
oh,
for. Oh,
wait.
wow.
Well
What?
then,
What happened?
so one thing, are we gonna go into what we learned now? Because
Oh
then
yeah.
I'll start.
Or what we're doing with 29. Oh yeah. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So one thing though this year is definitely the importance of, like, connections and community, like you were saying.
Ah,
Yeah.
I
So
forgot
for
about that.
example,
Okay.
when I was trying to move to Chicago, Candy, I couldn't find a place. Candy used her connections with other people to find their connections in Chicago. And so at one point, I had two different girls that I was talking to that I don't know. And one I still never met. And we were texting, they were trying to help me find a place. And so I eventually found a place. And when I got to Chicago, I was able to meet one of these girls who was a friend of Candy's friend. And we hung out, and we hung out twice. I went to her house for a game night, and then the first time though, we went to dinner with her and some of her other friends, and we went to the trap karaoke.
Yes.
That Candy wants. It was definitely an amazing experience. This trap karaoke, it's nothing like you've ever been to, and every Black person should experience it.
Well, I'm glad to hear you got to experience trap karaoke and you got to meet some people, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is something that I am completely for. Like, I know that we weren't designed to do life alone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what I want. Like, the world is so big, the United States is so big. Like, it's nice to know people in different areas that can help the next person or help the next person. I think that's important. And I'm glad you were able to have someone to go to trap karaoke with,
There was
and
even another
have game night
person.
with.
One of my
See,
other
that's
friends
good.
from college, I was just talking to them in my group text, like, oh yeah, I don't really have anything to do here. And she was like, oh, you should text my friend so and so. She loves to show people around. And I was in my head at first, to be honest, at first I was like, ugh, I don't want to just meet some random person. I don't have time for this. But I did. I texted her and I met up with her, and she brought like her friends, and we did a tour of Chicago, and they live there, and they're like, yeah, we've never done this tour, so it was like, great to do it. And then we went out another time. Like, it was just, it was interesting to
And
just
I think
meet
that's
people.
dope of you to even say that you are going to do that, because there are a lot of people that won't even try that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that person. I'm not just gonna go hang out with them.
And because it
For
can
you
be
to say
stressful. It can be
it
kind of
can,
like, you never know people's
you never
personalities.
know. You never know.
It depends on the mood you're in. Like, I can get really annoyed by people's personalities sometimes. So I'm just
She
like,
can, y'all. She can.
I just was like, okay, what? I just need to like put my, just deal. And if it didn't work out, then I just don't need to hang out with them
Look at
again.
look at that.
But
Yeah.
but
But
it
you
worked out.
tried.
Yeah. So.
That's what's up. So yes, guys, do that. Try something. You get to know some people. You never know. Your next friend or your relative may need a scratch on the back sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, 2018 wasn't that bad at all. And even on my end, something that I remembered hearing you talk was that I realized for myself that I had to even with being brave, there are certain things that I realized that I had to figure out for myself, like what works for me. Because I realized sometimes with social media, you get kind of caught up in the memes and the quotes and the videos and everything that's telling you how you should do things, how you should be. And for me, and I think it's more on even on the friendship note, like I had to figure out what works for me. You know,
Mm.
like I know, they will say, don't support people that don't support you, and like it all sounds good and it makes sense. But there are certain things with that I had to say, like, you know, some things I just want to still keep my personality involved. I want to still remain Candy with certain things. So, certain things I had to figure out what works for me. How do I want to do this without letting social media teach me, you know, how things should be, or how I should go forward, you know? So
Right, right.
that's the whole thing I had to figure out. So with moving forward 2019, do you have a tagline that you want to move into 2019 with? Do you have a mantra? What do you have anything you roll into 2019 with that you want to
Well,
stick
I
to?
honestly, I've never had like a mantra like you were saying you
What?
do earlier. Like, I've never thought of
What?
that. I was, once you said it earlier in the beginning of the conversation, I was like, huh, maybe I need to come up with something. Like, I've never ever had like a
Yeah.
specific saying or theme, like you said. I've never had that. I've just kind of, you know,
Well, let me
I
share
don't
mine
know.
with you then, real quick, okay? So for going into 2017, it was brave.
Mm-hmm.
That was
No,
2017.
going into this
Then
year?
going into 2018,
Oh,
it was be brave again.
okay.
And now going into 2019, it's stand firm. I have two. Stand firm. I want to be able to just remember everything that God has done for me and brought me through. And I want to just stand firm and remembering those things instead of like running away, um, hiding under my blanket, getting really depressed about. Like I want to remember that I can make it through this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I want to just stand. And I also want to just stand firm on what I want and what I want to get done. Like, I don't want to be talked down out of things or talked out of things, you know?
Oh, I want that for
Um,
you too. Yeah.
and then the final thing with that is, along with standing firm, is queen-ish.
Okay.
That's so queen-ish. And whoever you can break down what ish actually means if you want to. But I'm on some queen-ish type stuff for next year. I've even started now, honestly. I'm not waiting until 2019. Yeah, on that queen-ish, like y'all know what a queen makes. They make tough decisions. They make moves. They lead armies. You guys ever watch Game of Thrones? I see those queens on Game of Thrones. You know, this is Khaleesi right here, Queen of Dragons. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what that is. I'm on that queen-ish. We don't just send people to jail. It's just off with your heads. That's what queens do. You know? Get on their dragons and okay, y'all get it. I don't need to
Mm-hmm.
go any further. But queen-ish, that's it. That's what we on.
Okay.
To all my ladies out there, fine, pick up your crowns, put it back on, and rule.
I like
And
it.
rule. All right, I'm good. I'm done.
Well, yeah. Even though I don't have a specific mantra, like I've been heavily thinking about what 2019 is means for me personally this year, specifically when it comes to school and my career. It's gonna be a very important year for me, and I have to
Yes.
do things right to make sure that I line myself up
Queenish.
where I need to be. So that's what I've been heavily thinking about, is the trying to organize all the things I need to accomplish in the year. Not just these aren't, and the thing is, these aren't just things that I want to accomplish. These are things that need to be done, you know, in order for things to fall into place. So it's like that's my focus for the year, is basically staying focused on what I need to
Focus.
do and no distractions. And by distractions,
Boom.
I don't mean like, you know, dating or
Online
friends,
dating.
or no, not even those things. Just means like the things that distract me are, you know, the things,
Drink.
the emotions, or shut up.
Mm-hmm.
the,
Oh, you heard
the
me.
we all heard you. The
Okay.
emotions, or the bad things, the failures, the those
Mm-hmm.
things that come and they'll throw me off of my game, basically. And so that's what I'm trying to not let happen because I literally don't have time to be thrown off my game.
Don't have time. Right.
So
Right.
that's
I'm gonna
my
remind you
focus for
too.
the year.
Focus.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I plan to make a vision board. I'm really sorry I'm not going to be able to be at your event.
I mean, we're not
But,
making vision boards at that
oh,
event,
okay. Well,
but yeah, yes, definitely make one. Yes, I love vision boards. Like I stuck to my vision board for this year. Actually, Brave was on there,
hmm
and along with some other things that I did see through. So that visual helps. That visual really helps. I don't care what anyone says,
no,
but
it
it did
does
for
because
me.
I've
Yeah.
only ever made one vision board, and that was like last year, 27 for 2017 when I came to your event. This
Mm.
year, I wasn't there for it either, but I had the intentions of making one and I never did. I'm literally looking at the board that I had. I've kept it all year with it's blank. There's nothing on it.
Oh
And I was
wow.
like, I need to make this year. I'm going to use it and make it some, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
I'm
was
gonna
because it
remind you of
definitely
that
was
too.
good to have that, even though I had a very small one, like, the little piece of paper
Mm-hmm.
thing. It was definitely good to have to look at to see,
Yeah.
where I was
Yeah.
and to remind me what the plan is. So I'm definitely
Yeah, so
making one.
listeners, definitely make one. Definitely figure out what your vision is for 2019. What are your whys? That's another thing that I want to. Why are you putting this on the board? Why are you think about all your whys for everything that you're doing? If it makes sense to you,
hmm
and then move forward. I ask myself that a lot now. Candy, why are you doing this? Why are you going to this event? Why do you need to create this? Why? And
hmm
if all my whys line up, then I'm like, I'm down. But yeah, listeners, do that. Let's make some moves, man. um let's make some moves. Let's better ourselves. King-ish, queen-ish, rule. Yeah, when my final thing, I remember I was talking to my male friend a couple hours before we did this podcast, and and he was like, he was heading out to go do something with his mom. Like, I guess some people were working on her house and they weren't doing it properly, and he's like, man, I'm just so tired of these people taking advantage of her. And I guess it was white people, I guess. He's like, man, these black businesses need to step up and so forth. And I said to him, you know what? Like, listen, I'm definitely on the woman empowerment thing, but for 2019, like, I want to see some black men like doing the damn thing, in
Yeah.
all areas. That's what I would love to see that. I'm with the women doing their thing, but let me tell you, I want to see some black brothers out there killing it for real. And then he was like, "Yeah, Candy, you're right. I'm gonna talk to my boys. I'm gonna do my." And I'm like, "Okay, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Encourage each other.
Right.
Encourage your male friends." So there you go. So King-ish. So, gosh, how long is this episode so far, Cheyenne?
We are just above an hour. It is time to wrap up.
Oh, okay. I feel like we've been talking forever.
Well,
Good, great, great convo.
yes. I hope you
Yes.
guys not just make plans for 2019 and get excited in the first month, but try to carry that same momentum throughout the year because it's important. It
Yes.
really sucks to get to the end of the year and look back and there's so many things you still need to do.
Right. Right.
So like losing weight. Candy, how much weight did you lose?
Okay, we don't need to do that right now, really. Really. But that was on my board, y'all.
But
And
you
I
did
did
though,
lose
right?
some.
That's what I'm
So,
saying. So
just saying, y'all know that was on my board. That's it. But I'm not going to tell you guys how much. But
okay,
it
but
was on
we
my
we talked
board.
about the whole keto thing. I think they deserve to know something. No, okay, it's silent. Did I lose you, caller?
Did you? I'm still here. Because I'm still trying to lose more, so I'm not ready to just like put out my number just yet. But you guys seen my pictures, and
Yes.
stuff,
Okay.
and my
Okay.
face. I mean, I seen in my face.
I
What about you?
honestly, well, okay. I'm not afraid to say it. So the month that I did, I only did the 1 month.
I thought we were wrapping up, but go ahead.
Yes,
Hurry up.
I did. I lost 16 pounds, and
Woo!
I haven't gained.
Big sexy.
Shut up. Oh my god. I probably at this point, because I stopped and was, eating Christmas and all of that, I
Mhm.
probably only gained back like 2 or 3 pounds. And I'm not even fully
Okay.
gaining it back. It's like up and down. And I also haven't
Okay.
been working out for the last week. So, that much I can say
Okay.
it's not just coming back on. So that's good. But I definitely intend to start again on the 1st
That's what's
and
up. Yeah.
continue because I'm
Like I'm
turning
out of
30.
ketosis right now, but I plan on getting back to. I haven't put on anything I've lost. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I checked the scale the other day and I was like, oh, cool. So that sorry didn't hit too hard. Eggnog, you didn't hit me too hard, you
Yeah, I
know?
checked after Christmas and I was like, oh, okay, we're good. That's
Yeah,
not bad.
all right.
But yes.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
I got this little Fitbit thing too, and I see myself competing with this Fitbit. Like I'm just randomly walking because I just want to hit my numbers on the Fitbit. I'm always checking my phone to
that's the
see
point.
how many steps were completed, and I know that I didn't meet my mark, so I'm just randomly just walking around because I need to hit those steps. So get a Fitbit, guys. If you're competitive like me and you want to lose something, get a Fitbit and check out keto. Or if you're not interested in keto, just stop drinking a whole lot of juice and eat a whole lot of bread.
Right.
Cool.
Well, Happy New
Yeah.
Year,
Happy
guys.
New Year, guys. Yes, because that's probably when we're going to
Make it
drop
a
this
great.
episode, right?
We're
Yeah.
gonna drop it New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Ooh, nice.
Yes.
Yes, so enjoy the year 2019. It's gonna be exciting, right, Shai? We're gonna do this. Focus,
We're gonna do this.
Queen-ish, stand firm. Let's do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Signing off.
Signing off. Happy New Year.
Deuces. Why am I doing deuces with my fingers right now? Bye, y'all.
Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. I'm so grateful for my ex. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. I'm so grateful for my ex. Thank you. Next.